Oh, man. Man, oh, man. I'm tired. I'm tired, man. 3 hours of Monday Night Raw, which I really only enjoyed 2 things out of this show tonight. I'm trying to wake myself up, playing some music, trying to wake you guys up who's listening to this Raw review tonight, because I'm sure you're asleep too after watching 3 hours of Monday Night Raw that was just painfully boring. Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre is still continuing, this time with just adding the Fiend, as if the Fiend needs to be fighting for the WWE Championship right now, which is not necessary at all. Survivor Series bill has started though. We have 3 qualifying matches for the Raw Men's Survivor Series team. We are still doing Raw vs. SmackDown as the Survivor Series this year. There's nothing on the line, so I don't care. We have so much more on this show to talk about. But right now, you are listening to Be Loved by Papa Roach. And if you guys have any songs that you would like to listen to, make sure you leave that in the comments down below. This song was requested earlier today by Nick Fiore. He will actually be on the Halloween Havoc review on Wednesday night. Yes, Wednesday night I'm reviewing NXT over AEW for the first time in I think forever. So that should be interesting. So I'm just going to pause the music. If you guys have not, make sure you check out my Bound for Glory review from Saturday and my Hell in a Cell review from yesterday, which we are at, I believe, 450 views for the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view review. That is by far the most viewed pay-per-view review I have on the channel, so thank you guys for that so much. Let's keep the momentum going with Raw, man. Let's keep the momentum for views going for Monday Night Raw. But this show started out tonight with Drew McIntyre, the former WWE champion. He was talking about Rocky and his comeback story, and he's been down before, but he's gotten back up and he's became twice as dangerous, and he will again be the WWE champion. And then this brought out The Miz and John Morrison, who interrupted McIntyre and said that, on both things, with me winning the Money in the Bank and you losing the WWE Championship, happened on the same night last night. Yeah, as if we didn't know that happened on the same night, you dummy. He says, luckily for you, Drew, you are not the WWE Champion and Randy Orton is. Because if you were the champion right now and I was in here with the briefcase, it would be 2-on-1. I would cash in and I would become the new WWE Champion. So these two goofs are clowning around with Drew McIntyre. They're pissing Drew McIntyre off. McIntyre gives them each a headbutt. He gives Morrison a over-the-head suplex. And this sets up a match later tonight between Drew McIntyre and The Miz. As if you guys care, I honestly did not give a shit about the match, but we will get to it in a little bit. That was your basic, simple opening segment to Monday Night Raw, just to set up a match later down in the show. The first action we had was the Survivor Series men's qualifying match between Jeff Hardy and AJ Styles. I did not review last week's Raw. AJ Styles has a new bodyguard. His new bodyguard is the guy that was standing at the front of the door before Raw Underground. I had to look up his name tonight because I did not know how to pronounce it. I believe his name is Jordan Omagbin. I'm sorry if I mispronounced that. He is 7'3". And I wonder if we are ever going to see that guy in a wrestling ring. Because he's been on main roster television plenty of times. He was the bodyguard of Raw Underground. He was the big ninja for Akira Tozawa. And now he is the associate of AJ Styles. So I wonder if we are ever going to see Mr. Omagbin ever in a wrestling ring. But AJ Styles versus Jeff Hardy, this was a good match. Not the best match on the night, but this was good for what it was. I liked it. Both guys have good chemistry together. They wrestled each other back on the first episode of the Thunderdome for the Intercontinental Championship. That feels like months ago, honestly. That feels like, 5 months ago? But anyway, at the end, Styles defeated Jeff Hardy clean here. I don't understand why Tom Phillips is trying to put over the fact that, AJ Styles' associate distracted Jeff Hardy, therefore AJ Styles defeated him. I don't understand that. All he did was stand there and look at Jeff Hardy. So, if he's just standing there and Jeff Hardy's frightened by him, he's got nothing to do with that. He's not doing anything to Jeff Hardy, so that made absolutely no sense as I dropped my pen. Jesus Christ, let me go pick it back up. That made absolutely no sense for Tom Phillips to make that statement on commentary that things happen here on the review, man. Got pens flying around, music playing, talking about AJ Styles and Jeff Hardy. But after this, Jeff Hardy gets smacked in his back by Elias with a guitar. So that's that. Then we got to the Lucha House Party teaming up with Drew Gulak and Akira. I don't know. I don't even think it's worth reviewing this shit. These are 4 really good professional wrestlers in Gran Metalik, Lince Dorado, Drew Gulak, and Akira Tozawa. Yet, they're in this uncool, comedic, not funny, 24/7 chase with R-Truth. And Drew Gulak, he's a world-class professional wrestler. Now, does he deserve better? Yes. Do I feel bad for Drew Gulak? No, I do not, because back in the summer, if you guys remember, he asked for a raise, and WWE did not give him a raise. So he was like, you know what, I'm not going to resign. If you don't give me a raise, I'm not going to resign. Then WWE decided to give him a raise, and he signed the contract to stay with the WWE. This was back in June. 3 months ago, he was challenging AJ Styles for the Intercontinental Championship on SmackDown. Now, he's chasing R-Truth for the 24/7 Championship. I don't feel bad for Drew Gulak whatsoever. I'm sorry. I just don't feel bad for him. He had the decision not to resign, and he felt guilty, and he resigned. So I do not feel bad for Drew Gulak at all. Then we got into the next Survivor Series qualifier, Elias versus Keith Lee. This was the worst out of the 3 qualifying matches tonight. Listen, man, I got a couple things to say about Elias. I really didn't give a shit about the match. Keith Lee won, of course. Keith Lee won in 10 minutes with the Spirit Bomb, and Keith Lee's going to Team Raw, okay? I got that out of the way. Elias' new album came out today, Universal Truth. I haven't listened to it yet. I don't think I'm going to listen. It's just not worth it. Commentary's bringing up the entire night how Elias' new album's fantastic. And, you know, he's number 2 on soundtrack on whatever, on Spotify. Oh, Elias is number 1 on Spotify. If I look up on Spotify when I'm done this review and Elias is not number 1 or number 2, I will call out the WWE in a public tweet. I promise you guys. I'm going to keep that promise. I will not let you down. I'll look at Spotify either tonight or tomorrow. But Elias lost thanks to Jeff Hardy. Jeff Hardy's music playing. Jeff Hardy did not even come out. So now, with going back to Keith Lee, we know since coming up to the main roster, Keith Lee has been Keith DQ Lee and Count Out, and the best they have for him is a feud with Braun Strowman of all people. The best thing you have for freaking Keith Lee on Monday Night Raw is a feud with Braun Strowman, who sucks. And to top it on that, Keith Lee needed help to defeat Elias of all people. Elias. A lot of people love Elias, okay? My brother loves Elias. I'm not going to take that away from anybody. But you cannot take away the fact that when you see this guy wrestle, this guy puts you to sleep. Elias, when he's wrestling, puts people to sleep. And Elias is trash as a wrestler. So for Keith Lee to need help to defeat Elias, that's a shame. That's a damn shame right there, man. But, of course, Jeff Hardy appeared and he hit a weapon on Elias. I'll give you 10 seconds to think what the weapon was. The correct answer is a guitar. We are definitely getting a guitar and a pole match between these two. It's coming. It happens in every single feud Elias is in. It's coming. Then we got an elimination tag between the Hurt Business and Retribution. I don't feel like talking about the match because having this match tonight made absolutely no sense. It just made no sense. I guess it did make a little sense because we are supposedly getting Bobby Lashley versus Sami Zayn at Survivor Series. But, of course, Retribution lost. Retribution lost this elimination tag. Mustafa Ali can do all the talk he wants, and this is a mission, and when people suffer, we're happy, whatever. You can talk all you want, my guy, but if you can't back that up in the ring and creative is just going to keep giving you L after L after L, your words and your promos mean nothing. And you're just wasting your time with what you're being given to say because you're not backing it up in the ring. Everything Mustafa Ali says for Retribution is not being backed up. Mustafa Ali, folks, is the new Bray Wyatt. I'm telling you right now, Mustafa Ali with Retribution is the new Bray Wyatt. He's all talk and talk and talk, and he goes out to the ring and he takes the L. This heel turn has done nothing for Mustafa Ali, and Retribution needs to die. T-Bar needs to go back to Dominik Dijakovic, the world-class competitor. Mace needs to go back to Dio Madden. Slapjack needs to be Shane Thorne. Reckoning needs to be the freaking HBIC that we saw in NXT. I'm not the biggest fan of Mia Yim, but she is much better than what she did tonight. Pulling fake seizures and slapping the mat. She should be on the phone. When I could imagine for you guys on the way home from Monday Night Raw. She's in the car with her boyfriend Keith Lee, and they're having a conversation about their night and what they did. And Mia is telling Keith, "You know what, Keith? I hated what I did tonight. That was completely embarrassing. The entire IWC had to watch me do that on live television tonight. I want to give Paul Levesque a call and see if I can go back down to NXT because I do not enjoy this. I'm telling you, that could very well happen. It's not going to, but that's probably what she's saying in the car. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And you know what's even more funnier? We're getting an elimination match between these two teams 4 weeks. 4 weeks before Survivor Series. You're telling me that WWE couldn't wait 4 weeks to do this match? Oh, but Bobby Lashley would have to pull double duty. Asuka pulled double duty at SummerSlam and Clash of Champions. Who cares? Who cares if he has to pull double duty? Drew McIntyre versus The Miz. Very simple. Drew McIntyre won in 8 minutes. And during the match, Morrison made a distraction with the briefcase. McIntyre gave Morrison a over-the-head suplex to the mat. And Drew McIntyre chucked the briefcase across the stage, throwing it on the stage like it's a piece of trash. So, what that says is WWE is having Drew McIntyre go out on stage and do for them. Could you tell the people at home what we think of the Money in the Bank briefcase and just chuck it on the stage? Because WWE treats the Money in the Bank briefcase like it's a piece of trash. They treat it like it's trash. It's not prestigious anymore, thanks to giving that contract to freaking Otis. And The Miz having that contract is not going to solve the problems. The Miz is not becoming world champion, folks. At least he's not becoming world champion anytime soon. Not on this watch, because there's no way. If he decides to cash in on the Universal Championship, I don't think he will, but there's no way in hell, the way Roman Reigns is right now, that he's dropping that title before WrestleMania. And I can't see Randy Orton dropping that championship before WrestleMania 2, which we will get to at the main event segment of the show. Then we got the New Day promoting Survivor Series in the back. They're pretending to be the Street Profits. Then Asuka comes out, so they're just dancing. We get confirmed we're getting the New Day versus the Street Profits. Asuka versus Sasha Banks, which we've seen all summer, but they put on really good matches. So you know what? We saw it all summer, but I'm not going to complain. Bobby Lashley versus Sami Zayn, and Randy Orton versus Roman Reigns. And then they were approached by the Hurt Business, and they made a statement that the Hurt Business is coming for some gold, meaning they're coming for the New Day's Raw Tag Team Championships. I could see that match happening in a few weeks. Maybe before Survivor Series, the New Day drops the championships to the Hurt Business. That way we can actually get a heel versus face match on Survivor Series. Because right now it's not looking that way for any of the matches. Then we got Pat Buck standing out on the ring with Adam Pearce. And they bring out the Raw Women's team for Survivor Series. We got Shayna and Nia Jax, Mandy Rose, and Dana Brooke. And then they bring out the final competitor will compete in the Fatal 4-Way. And the winner will be the final participant for Team Raw. We got Lana, Lacey Evans, Peyton Royce, and Nikki Cross. And oh my goodness, man. A, if you believed I watched this match, you're a fool. And B, I feel so bad for Asuka. I feel so bad for Asuka. This Raw Women's division is absolutely miserable. Miserable. Let me tell you, the Raw Women's division right now with Asuka as the Raw Women's Champion, Shayna Baszler, which is legitimately her only good competition on Raw right now, Nia Jax, Mandy Rose, Dana Brooke, Lana, Lacey Evans, Peyton Royce, Nikki Cross, and don't forget, Charlotte Flair on the shelf. Asuka is basically keeping that championship warm for Charlotte Flair. That's legit facts. I'm sorry to say, but I'm disappointed at saying it, but it's true. Asuka is keeping the Raw Women's Championship warm for Charlotte Flair. It sucks. I paused for a second. I was just thinking, Charlotte Flair is going to come back. She's going to win the Raw Women's Championship. Horrible. Absolutely horrible. Women's wrestling sucks on the main roster outside of Sasha Banks and Bayley. Oh, before we get to the next match, Lana got driven through the announce table again tonight. So that is, let me count. Since Miro joined AEW, let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 6 weeks in a row. Lana has been driven through the announce table by Nia Jax. We get it, WWE. We get it, Vince. We get it, Bruce. You hate Lana because Miro went to AEW. Next, we got Sheamus versus Matt Riddle in the final Survivor Series qualifying match. This match was actually really damn good. Really good. These guys bring the best out of each other. Very hard-hitting match. This was by far the best thing on the show. No question. Sheamus, however, won with a bro kick. Sheamus is the third participant on Team Raw at Survivor Series. I don't understand that division. I don't understand how you got Matt Riddle right there on your hands and he's not on the Survivor Series team for Team Raw. They don't see anything in Matt Riddle. That's a damn shame. That's a damn shame that Vince and Bruce do not see a damn thing in Matt Riddle. That upsets me. That really upsets me. WWE is killing Matt Riddle, Keith Lee, Dominic Dijakovic, Dio Madden, Shane Thorne, Mia Yim, and countless other superstars. So with that in mind, I was just thinking about this. I'm still going to be a fan of NXT no matter what. But what's the point of cheering for my favorite superstars on NXT if their fate is going up to the main roster and being lowered down to mediocrity and feeling like everybody else? What's my point of getting excited about a Karrion Kross or a Damian Priest or a Bronson Reed or a Dexter Lumis who is one day gonna see their fate with Vince McMahon? What is the point of me getting so hyped about these guys? I'm just throwing it out there. Then the final segment, I thought this was very lame. This was very lame. We got Randy Orton out there with Alexa Bliss. He's like, look, I know the Fiend's around here somewhere. He's lurking. I know Bray Wyatt better than anybody. Just bring him out. Then Drew McIntyre came out, and they started brawling with each other as if we've never seen these guys brawl with each other. Then the Fiend's music, then the Fiend, the lights went out. Randy Orton was on stage. McIntyre was in the ring. The Fiend was standing behind Orton. Orton knew he was behind him. He started walking to the ring, brawling with Drew McIntyre. That's the way the show went off the air. So basically what they're telling you is that Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre are still feuding with each other, but this time we're just going to add Bray Wyatt into it. And, yeah. Randy Orton's not dropping the WWE Championship either. Don't make them believe. Don't let them make you believe that Bray Wyatt is winning the WWE Championship, because he's not. It just doesn't make sense. Bray Wyatt does not even need to be in this situation. Bray Wyatt does not need to be in the WWE Championship picture at all. Because who wants to see him lose a major championship match again? I'm sure I don't. But that's going to wrap it up tonight, folks. That's going to wrap it up here for the Raw review. A very long 3 hours. Very boring 3 hours. But we have made it. I'm getting out of here. Thank you guys for watching the review tonight. If you have not already, subscribe to the channel. We got some more content up for you guys this week. Comment down below what you thought of tonight's episode of Monday Night Raw. Hit that like button if you like what I had to say about tonight's episode of Raw. Follow me on Twitter at Colin_Joseph. And I will see you guys tomorrow here on the channel for your NFL Week 8 predictions here on the channel. Have a good night and stay safe.